Hi all, thanks for joining our health tech investment conference. This is actually our second health tech investment conference we held with this specific format. The first one was held beginning of February. As a startup club, we often organize pitch night and investment conferences. We cover industries like fashion tech, ad tech, prop tech, B2 tech, green tech, and of course, health tech. Today we invited 7 quite promising health tech companies, and each company will have 6 minutes to pitch. That will be followed by 8 minutes of feedback and Q&A with the advisory panel members. And of course, so each company will have a total of 14 minutes. And of course, we encourage all the attendees interact with the presenters. You can simply use chat, ask your questions. I will reflect your questions if we have time, or presenters will respond to your question again by using chat after their pitches. So let me mute everyone for a second. Okay. So let me briefly introduce all the presenters. So the first page is VivoSensMedical. They have a patented method using the vaginal wearable OvulaRing. And the next company is Tantum. They are a digital medication dispenser. And next company, Monthly of Sweden, they produce high quality menstrual cups. And we have miResi. They help chronic care providers integrate with interested parties. And fifth page is BeCare Link. BeCare Link is remote patient monitoring platform for the patient with neurological conditions. And next one, VitaScale, they have rats saliva based technology for prevention and diagnostics. And the final page is Sonai Health. They reinvent heart diagnostics using their advanced device. And moving to the advisory panel members, as mentioned, we will have 5 great investors in the space. I will ask them to introduce themselves, but just quickly mention their name. Elena Dikova with us today, Senior Associate at Apex Ventures. Jean-Francois, partner at Kurma Partners. Victor Minchev, VC investor at 11 Ventures. Daria Pelini, early stage investor at Plug and Play Tech Center. And Lindsay Atkinson, investment associate at SAOSV. Thanks so much for your contribution. It's very valuable for us. And Elena, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, thank you for hosting. Thanks to the Startup Club. I'm very happy to be here. So I work with Apex Ventures. We are a Vienna-based venture fund. We focus primarily on early stage companies, and we have several funds under our umbrella. All of them require companies have a very strong deep tech component, and I particularly work with the medical fund. So not only are the companies driven by deep tech, but they also need to fulfill a specific clinical need. You know, we have a great team at our company with 2 practicing doctors on our team, a wonderful computer scientist, and we source deals from all over. We have very close connections with London, so we take from the UK, from Europe, US, and yes, thanks.
Great, thanks so much, Elena. And Jean-Francois, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Yes, with pleasure, and thanks for hosting the event. So I'm Jean-François Rivassou. I'm a partner with Kurma Partners. We're a Paris and Munich-based VC fund specialized in life sciences. We've been there for more than a decade. A strong angle on biotech initially. Then we developed a franchise in health tech. So we made the connection between the strong biology and introducing what the IT can leverage. And so as for myself, I joined the company about 2 years ago, and I'm more in charge of our latest activity, which is a growth fund. So we do a very early stage VC company creation, but have with this growth fund the ability to finance companies until later stages. So when we look at companies, even early stage, we tend to look at the full development path. Really insist on science, but also commercialization, which is a key element in health tech. So very pleased to be there today. And just to give you an idea, 25 people, 700 million under management, and we're part of a larger PE group called Eurazeo.
Great, thanks so much for being with us today. And Victor, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. Sorry for running a few minutes late here. So my name is Victor. I'm part of the 11th Ventures team. Which is a VC fund out of Bulgaria. We predominantly focus on pre-seed and seed stage companies out of Eastern Europe. 11 is one of the, as I mentioned, one of the leading VC funds in the region with over 70 million in assets under management. One of the key verticals that we focus on is healthcare, where we obviously like companies that use AI and data to improve the status of patients and providers into the healthcare system. So far we've invested in over 200 companies, including the first Bulgarian unicorn, Payhawk. So yeah, I'm super happy to be on the event here today, and I'm looking forward to see some really promising companies that are going to be pitching today.
Great, thanks so much, Victor. Daria,
yeah,
to go next.
Hi everyone, I'm Daria, working for Plug and Play for a bit more than 1.5 years now. I'm part of the ventures team for the health vertical for the Munich office in Germany. For those of you who don't know Plug and Play, we are a fund from Silicon Valley, and we are pretty international with 47 offices all around the globe, with the main presence in Europe, US, and Asia. And we actually have two business lines. So on one side, we have a venture capital fund, of course. So part of my time is dedicated to find promising deals in the health space, mainly on the pre-seed and seed stage. And then on the other hand, we also do corporate innovation. So we have a network of corporate partners. And in particular in Munich, we work alongside Roche, Novo Nordisk, Neom Health, Daiichi Sankyo, and BIX, helping them to basically go beyond the, let's say, the limits of their internal innovation by connecting them with startups. So yes, thank you so much, Startup Club, for inviting me, and looking forward for the pitches today.
Thanks so much, Daria. And Lindsay?
Hey everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Lindsay Atkinson. I'm an associate on the IndieBio New York team. IndieBio is part of this global venture fund called SOSV with 1.5 billion in assets under management. And we're basically early stage investors in deep tech companies that are looking to transform the future of human and planetary health. So first and foremost, we're organized across a few different accelerator programs. IndieBio focuses on life sciences companies. HAX, HAX focuses on kind of hardware, robotics, engineering. And we have one other called Orbit that focuses more on cross-border mobile internet plays. I represent IndieBio, and more specifically IndieBio New York. We provide basically teams that are joining us, often teams of PhD co-founders, up to $500,000 in the form of 2 safe notes, followed by kind of dedicated programming and really the opportunity to help bolster follow-on rounds post our program. So super excited to be here, and great to meet everyone.
Great, thanks so much, Lindsay. And then we can move to our first page. As mentioned, the first page is VivoSensMedical. Sebastian Alexander, CEO of the company, will present the opportunity. Sebastian, are you there? Yes.
Yeah, I'm there. I hope everybody can hear me. So I will share my screen.
Yeah,
That you can
absolutely.
have a look on the presentation. I hope it works. So can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Wonderful. Then I will start. So, as I said, my name is Sebastian Alexander, CEO and founder of VivoSensMedical, a pioneer in digital women health. Sorry. Now it's moving. Women health is still an underserved market with a couple of unaddressed needs like fertility and reproductive health, but also contraception and menopause beside others. The current problem on the market is that all methods of products which are available are insufficient. And the reason is that they are all based on the medical assumption that there is a female standard cycle, which is the obvious story 28 and 14, so 28 days long, the cycle, and the ovulation is right in the middle. That's what we all learned at school. But reality shows that 70% of all women did not meet that standard, which means that there is a medical need for a reliable method which is able to detect the unique fertility pattern of each single female. Our solution is a method which we call Cylofertilography using the vaginal wearable OvulaRing. The method is based on the continuous measuring of core body temperature measured by a vaginal ring pessary and combined with a medical mobile app and medical algorithm. With that, we are able to provide daily individual analysis, and you can compare that with a daily vaginal ultrasound in combination with a daily hormone blood test. The method is based on more than 10 years of clinical research and development. In result, the probability to become pregnant with OvulaRing and within a half a year is higher than the success rate of an IVF cycle. And our internal pill index is reaching the level of the pill. Our competitive advantage is that we are the only product on the market and the only method which is suitable for all cycles and especially clinical tested for all cycles. Doesn't matter how long or short they are. We are the only method which is recommended by gynecologists in Germany and reimbursed by healthcare insurances. We have the highest clinical reliability and the best clinical data and results. And this all is our own method and patent protected for the hardware as well as for the software solution. Our proven business model shows increasing engagement and revenues per customer over time, where others in the market are still seeking for profitability or for a suitable price model. Our go-to-market strategy is a push and pull approach to reach maximum conversion. So we are combining direct-to-consumer channels with the classical pharma targeting of gynecologists, and this all is also combined with the reimbursement strategy from healthcare insurances. Up to now, we have been focusing on the development of the method and the product, as well as testing the price model and the business model. And now our next step is scaling with the focus on the German-speaking area and Europe. And for that, we are seeking in the next step for an investment of 3 million. VivoSensMedical is a family company which is driven by a dedicated team. The team combines all necessary know-how and key experiences, and the whole team is running the business together since more than 10 years. Additionally, there is a huge upside potential because the method is much more a platform technology, and we can address nearly all unmet needs in women health now and in future, like menopause, pregnancy, individual IVF, sport and training, as well as rheumatology and multiple sclerosis. That's a summary, and I thank you for your attention and awaiting your questions regarding the VivoSense and the product. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Sebastian. I'm sure our judges will have some comments and questions. Maybe Elena, would you like to start? Oh, I guess, okay. Now you can unmute yourself, sorry about that.
Hi, Sebastian. Thank you for your presentation. So I want to understand your results that were presented a bit more. Is this based on women with infertility?
Yes, I mean, what results
So
you
of
mean
the
in
when you
specific?
presented the efficacy of the OvulaRing, yes,
You mean
here.
that the pregnancy
Yes.
success rate? Yes.
So this is a sample based on patients suffering from infertility. Is that right?
Yeah, you can read the numbers here below. So this is a recent analysis from our database with more than 2,000 participants for the success rate and for time to get pregnant. This was participants.
Okay. And between the ring itself and the medical algorithms, which one are marked as a medical device?
They are all a medical device.
Everything is a medical device.
So if the system, let's say there are 3 medical devices combining the system. You have the hardware, which is the ring and the biosensor. You have the mobile app, which is responsible to transfer the data via Bluetooth to our medical database, which is a web-based software, also with an interface for the gynecologist. And then the results for the end customer is then once again shown on the mobile.
So you have the ability to clinically diagnose infertility, yes?
Yes.
And so are there any other indications that you would be able to diagnose with this technique? Like how much insight from the collected data can you get?
A lot. So we developed, or Professor Alexander, the inventor of the whole system, developed also, just for instance, an CFG score. So we developed a specific score which gives us the possibility to really diagnose specific gynecology, fertility things in female cycle, but we can also diagnose, for instance, PCOS syndrome, or we can also give insights for premenstrual syndromes. We can give insights for, let's say, menopause issues and all that. So because of we are measuring 288 points a day. And with that ongoing continuous data, there is a lot of potential and information we can give the gynecologists.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Elena. Jean-Francois, maybe you have some comment as well.
Yes, with pleasure. Could you comment a little bit about the competition? There has been a few projects on wearable devices in the same space as you. How would you mainly differentiate and protect yourself from this competition? I understand you're a bit ahead in terms of marking and data, but how do you see this competition?
And first of all, we are the only product which is able to continuously measure the core body temperature continuously over time. So it's not just 24/7. It's, if you want, 365 days in the year. Our longest customer is using the OvulaRing continuously over 6 years right now. So we have a database which is totally unique in the market. And our positioning is that we are combining not just the lifestyle issue of the fertility tracking, let's say like this, which is the main focus in the competition in the market. We're combining that with a reliable medical data and a telemedical approach. So we are, as I said, we are, as far as I know, the only method worldwide which is able and suitable for all cycles. Because all the other methods are still based on the assumption that there is a standard cycle, and all the clinical data of them is collected with females which are fitting with the standard cycle, which means they are addressing 1/3 of the customer base, and we are able to address all the others.
Okay. Thank you, Jean. Do we have any further questions? Or
maybe just to make that comment, this is also the basis for our premium price model and the possibility really to have a profitable business model. Because with that medical proven data and the medical results, we are able to address a specific price model where others are just able to reach lower numbers.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Maybe Nancy or Victor?
Yes, if I can go ahead. I personally really love the space. Plug and Play, we're also trying to make a bet on the market, but in the European level and also in the US. I think here the nice USP is the fact that, as you said, as you stressed a lot of times, that you can personalize different kind of cycles. I love the level of personalization, customization. But my question here is, which kind of data points are you taking into consideration to kind of like make it more customizable to the different cycles of the patients? And then second question would be a bit more about the traction in terms of customers you're currently working with, and also the gynecologists and the health insurance.
Yeah, if I understood the first question right, you want to know how we are using the data, something like that?
Yeah, exactly. How you're using the data, especially for giving personalized recommendations on different cycles.
Yeah, so as I said, we are continuously measuring 288 points a day. And also the difference to other approaches is that we are not just deriving specific one-point measurements out of that data. We are addressing a pattern analysis algorithm approach. So we are using every point to fit out the numbers. So let's say like this, we are figured out specific biomarkers in that pattern, which gives us, in the end, medical insights. Just for instance, we have a biomarker for the progesterone level. We have a biomarker for the stress level. We have a biomarker for sports, fever, and something like that, which are able to influence fertility and ovulation, let's say like this. So that's the approach. From the customer base, we are currently mainly focusing on Germany and a little bit Austria and Switzerland. So more than 6,000 customers are currently using the OvulaRing. And our network with gynecologists in Germany is around 200 gynecologists who are, let's say, using the OvulaRing and recommend them to their patients. And right now we have 6 healthcare insurances, and 2 of them, one of the biggest in Germany, with an addressable number of more than 1 million females who are able to get reimbursed the use of OvulaRing in Germany.
Thank you, Dario. Actually, we have about a minute.
Yes.
So maybe just one more question, then we can move to the next. So,
yes, there is a.
Sorry, I don't know who's speaking right now.
Just one.
Sorry, maybe this one first. Maybe let's just prioritize the judge first, and if we have time, I will just reflect to audience. Is that okay?
Got it.
Yeah, maybe first, if Victor or Lindsay, if you have any questions or comments, very quickly.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sebastian, for the presentation. So I have a very quick question. Like right now, what kind of distribution channels are you using to get this into the hand of the patient, and what percentage of the revenue each one generates?
I mean, in the end, the revenue goes mainly through our web shop. So that's our direct to customer channel. So the way is like this. On the one side, we are directly communicating via social media and classical direct to customer channels to the females, and then they can go to our web shop and buy the product. We are combining that with communications to the gynecologist, because we know in the fertility area, the woman asking their gynecologist about what we have to do. And then the gynecologist is recommending the product. And then in the end, the channel is once again our web shop.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Sebastian. Thanks so much, Victor. Lindsay, actually, we exceeded the time a bit for this one. So maybe let's move to the next picture. But I just saw a comment that from Anne asking, do you have any FDA approval? Maybe you can use your chat and answer her question. Actually, it's also Lindsay questions as well. So you may want to respond to Sebastian by using chat. And the next, thanks Sebastian again. And the next page is tantum Sana. That Mayor, CEO of the company, will present the opportunity.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing it. So I'm also one of the co-founders. We're actually a family business, so my last name is the same. So I must be able to share the screen, right? Perfect.
Yes.
Hopefully you can see everything.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Batuan. Yeah. As my grandmother grew older and older and still lived at home, she had trouble keeping track of her medications she was taking, and time and again she forgot important intakes or mixed up her medications. This often led to unwanted side effects and interactions. And since our family business has been building dosing systems for liquid medications for many decades here in Germany, we basically looked around and asked ourselves why there wasn't an intelligent solution besides the pill box she was already using. And this is actually how our journey with Mayasana began 5 years ago and ended with Mayasana, what it is today. And also it's a spin-off, so it's a own company right now. In Germany alone, over 7 million people take 5 or more medications, and it's a global problem also in USA, and together even 80 million people are taking this amount of medications per week on a daily basis. And especially people that are in need of care are affected by this problem. And who does not wish to be able to live at home until the end of their life? And adherence to therapy has a significant influence on health. And this includes also taking the right medication at the right time. In Germany alone, there are 4 million people with a care degree, mostly living at home. And we also have up to 25,000 deaths due to medication problems and around 1 million hospitations due to these kind of problems per year. And it's obviously not only a problem that exists in Germany. And no wonder, because up to 50% of the medications are taken incorrectly or not at all. And with Mayasana, we are now also helping probably your grandparents to live a more self-determined life at home. Mayasana consists of a partner pharmacy that analyzes and pre-sorts the complete medication for the patient. And afterwards, it only needs to be inserted into our intelligent Mayasana pill dispenser. And this also automatically synchronizes with the patient's medication schedule, all the information that is needed, and automatically reminds the patient to take the right medication at the right time, and then also dispenses the right medication. And nevertheless, should your grandma forget to take her medication at some point, a message is automatically sent to the caregiver. And here you can see Mayasana actually. Besides the pre-filled medication that also excludes a lot of problems that probably take place if you sort your medication by yourself, everything is smart actually. So it synchronizes with the medication plan. It's really easy also to be handled by a senior or older person, and actually checks all the medication that is inserted. So it's not working dumb. So every medication is also being checked by our pill dispenser again before it got dispensed. In addition to the distribution through our Mayasana certified pharmacy, our main channel will now be leasing through health insurance companies. We already submitted an application for this last year and expect a reimbursement in 1 or more 2 months. And this means that the complete rental cost for people in need of care, especially here in Germany, will be covered by the health insurance companies in the near future. For this, we are asking for 1 million euro. And we think that we will be the first system of this kind being getting a health insurance reimbursement here in Germany, which is also a great opportunity for us and probably also you. Yeah, thank you for taking your time to come here this evening. You can see still our team. We obviously a family business or a spin-off of a family business, but we now also have a more complex team. Probably, for example, our Martin Letert guy, which completely handles our sales channels and digitalize our sales channels, for example. Yeah, so I'm open for your questions. And as the last slide, I want to show you also our future vision, miResi as a central health hub, where you can see which future features we're going to launch soon. Thank you.
Thank you for the great presentation, Dennis. Lindsay, would you like to start with your comments or questions?
Oh, I can unmute now. Awesome. Thank you so much for that presentation. That was great. Wanted to get a better understanding of, kind of just like the market demand here. It'd be great to understand like a bottoms up analysis around kind of units you anticipate being able to sell, your initial beachhead market, and basically like a customer willingness to pay, excluding kind of reimbursement scenarios. Yes. That'd be super helpful. Mm-hmm. And then I really like the long-term vision of actually turning this into kind of like a central health hub at home. I would conduct kind of like a deeper dive into basically like who are the competitors out there that are obviously providing so many easily available kind of like telehealth services, and really see kind of like where does your technology fit into that? Like, does it actually provide a significant enough technical wedge such that you can like kind of disintermediate or like push those other competitors out? So those are kind of the two main areas I'd look into further. Maybe also just like a little bit better understanding of like, how did you get to the financial projections that you're, I think that are on like a few slides up. Those are like the three comments I have.
Okay. First of all, there's also Günther, our CFO, is also part of the meeting today, so he probably can answer all the financial questions better than I can. The first question you asked was about the willingness to pay besides the health and reimbursement. So first, when we started to think about miResi, the health insurers talked about being about the willingness to pay for it. So obviously we focused on this part because we knew there's already someone paying for it, so it's a no-brainer. And then we started also here and then making some media appearance, for example, and then somehow people popped up and said, okay, we don't want to wait for the health insurance reimbursement, so am I also able to pay privately for it? So we usually plan to wait for launching it with the health insurers together, but we already launched it last month because there are already people willing to pay for it privately. So what we're actually doing is right now we have a kind of waiting list where we here and then also pay it, sell it privately or rent it privately to people paying for it. And most of the time, these people are actually caregivers, not the older people, but people working during the day and just want to make sure that their parents are taking the right medication, that they only have to look on their phone to know everything is all right. So this is the first point. And your second point was, or second question was about what again? Oh, the competitors regarding the central health hub. So Germany here is a really specific market because some of the features also health insurers are paying for. For example, the emergency call feature. So they have a fixed amount of money they're paying for that one in all of the care scenarios. But then we also figured out that especially for older people, some social features are really important. So this is actually what is probably more kind of USP, that we mix these health and safe and care security features also with social features. For example, what we're doing right now, we developing an app where you can probably, for example, the children or the grandparents can call together and have a video call. And this also hires the acceptance of using Mayasana at your home. And I think if you mix these two parts together, it's a win-win situation for everyone. So this is the second part, and your last part is, for example, the financial projections, right? How we came to this numbers. Hopefully, Günther has the chance to unmute himself right now, if he's there.
I will do my very best.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
First, we already invested around 5 million euros in the development and the marketing preparation. And right now we are in situations that we have a serious product, and we need to bring the time over between market start and the growth period to come into the break-even point. And for this, we have a need of sales activities and another part of additional development. That means we need something around 1.5 years for coming to the break-even point. And for this duration, we need this money. So companies, we have 15 employees right now, so it's really running, and the stuff has to be paid. Part of the money we have right now, but for coming in the bigger, coming in the market, we need additional money.
And one addition for that, we also the case we're presenting right now is more the conservative case. We're just saying, okay, we're mostly selling over the health reimbursement. So because now obviously the time for investments are a little bit more conservative. We also have more growth orientated investment cases, but the case I'm showcasing right now is more the conservative one. So
did you have shown the amount? I think it's not shown right now.
No, only this one.
Okay.
Let me add one information. Sorry, here's Gerd. One information: we have a strong request also from foreign countries like USA, UK, Netherlands. So here in the European region, we have a partnership with BD Rover, a US concern, which delivers and develops bliss pouch machines, and they have a very big interest in that the market is growing up here, especially in Europe. So in this summer, we'll have the first negotiations about the market in USA. So what you have seen here is market Germany, Austria, Switzerland, but the request, the international request, is huge. So we have the possibility in a short second step to enter also these markets with partners. We have partners like BD Rover, but for this, it would be important to collect money. First, we have to focus on the German market because this is our home market. And the German market, the health market is complex like the German tax systems, the complexest in the world. So we have very good lobby here in the German market, in the health market.
Thank you so much, Gerd, Dennis, and Gunther. Actually, time is up right now. So for the future presentation, I kindly suggest please try to keep your answer a bit short for your benefit, actually, so that you can interact with all the judges. Maybe you can take some questions from the audience as well. It will be for your own benefit. But thank you for great answer for all the team. And to Sana, thank you so much for the presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks so much. And the next page is monthly of Sweden. Lisa Purby, CEO of the company, will present the opportunity. Lisa, you can share your screen and start the presentation.
Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm trying to share my screen if you're wondering what's happening.
Okay, sure. No worries.
Okay. Du måste avsluta för att det ska gå.
Okay, now we can say it.
I can see. Great. Okay, so ready, set, and go.
Okay, we can say sure.
If you only knew what a major difference this menstrual cup has made for women all over the world, this is the monthly cup. A menstrual cup is an internal protection that you can reuse for up to 5 years. That means that one single menstrual cup saves this planet 1,600 tampons and pads each. So my name is Lisa Purby, and I'm the proud founder and CEO of Monthly of Sweden. We have been around for about 7 years and are today the market leading company of menstrual cups here in Sweden. We sell our products in 2 ways. Directly to end users through our own websites in pretty much all over the world, and through our resellers, 1,700 stores in about 15 countries, and we do have FDA clearance. And in total, we have about 200,000 customers, and we grow really fast until the pandemic hit. The market for menstrual products is constant. About 25% of the world's population is in need of our products. And the goal is to become one of the big companies within women's health and develop new products in that area. And Inconti and Monthly Wear are the first ones, and those 2 are the reasons that I am here today. About 800 million people menstruate daily. Disposable pads are the most common to be used, generates large amounts of plastic and trash. More and more people want sustainable choices from the beginning. So we are expanding our portfolio and of reusable menstrual protection and are currently developing monthly wear, period panties. The point of a period panty is that you don't need anything extra, just the panty you're wearing anyway. And the difference to a regular panty is an absorbent part that's sewn into the garment that will give you protection all through the day. The period panties market is predicted to reach $280 million by 2026, meaning that even though there are a few other brands out there, there is still plenty of room on the leaderboard. Most competition also use silver to prevent bacterial growth, but silver is normally washed out quite quickly and it's very bad for our environment. So instead, we will use a naturally antibacterial material that is patented by another Swedish company that we will get the license for this type of use, exclusive license. So we are also looking at the possibility of using this technology in briefs for men who are suffering from incontinence after prostate cancer. The second area we want to get into is incontinence. Half of all women will suffer from incontinence at some point in their life, most after pregnancy. Stress incontinence causes leakage when sneezing, coughing, laughing, jumping, running, etc. The sale of incontinence products totaled to $10 billion in 2019, so it's a very large global market. We have invented a product that prevents urinary leakage, namely Inconti. It's an intravaginal support that will press against the urethra to make leakage stop during usage. The patent application is sent in, and the work on the ISO certification for medical device and the following MDR certification and CE mark is in progress. As you know, these are very costly areas, but the potential is huge. Together with this, we are now developing a slightly more fun app for pelvic training in the future. So in the future, the plan is to apply a lot more tech and gamification, but that will be a little bit of a teaser for the future. The most common protection to use for incontinence is pads. These are mainly sold by large multinational companies, here represented by Tina, that is come from Essity. And a pad actually contains as much plastic as 4 plastic bags. So you can do the math on how good that is for the environment. The other incontinence devices here, Divine and Euphemia, are products that also prevent leakage, but they are extremely expensive. Inconti will last for a year, will only generate 12 grams of waste and cost about 50 euros. So it's going to be an economic and financial advantage. Our vision is to become one of the world's largest companies within women's health for menstruation and incontinence. And here are some of the steps to launching the products that I just mentioned. And after that, we have decided to go for a stock market listing, which is also a potential exit. If you look at the team, Erica is our quality manager with a background as a linguist. We have Martin, who's a civil engineer in charge of all tech, and I have a background in sales and media. It's the three of us together with staff for social media, sales and warehouse that push the company forward, and we aim to become a lot more people in the next coming years. So we go from being a single product company to a multi-product company. We aim towards a turnover of 10 million euros in 5 years. Before the pandemic hit, we were at 1 million, and we had an aggressive growth plan that we doubled our turnover every year. And with our new products, this will be possible once again. 2022, we had a turnover of 360,000 euros, and we are on target for this year for 420, since our year ends in June. And in the future, we will see that the earnings is split into incontinence and period protection about 50-50. The margins today are on average on 800%, and Inconti will be even better. Menstruation and incontinence are both strongly tabooed, and if you want to become big in this, the taboo needs to be broken. We have managed to do this with the menstrual cup through social media and influencers, and now we want to make the same journey with our new products. So you've heard what we want to do: launch Inconti, the incontinence device for women, finish monthly wear, a clearly better period panty. So we're looking for 1 million euros, and in conclusion, we have great products with even better margins. So I hope that I have piqued your interest and that we'll get a chance to tell you more.
Thanks so much, Lisa, for the presentation. Daria, would you like to start?
Yes, sure. First of all, thank you so much, Lisa. I love the way you present and also showcasing the product live. Yeah, so I have a couple of questions. So first of all, how do you compete and how do you plan to compete globally on the established brands of cups and pads, which are also more industrialized? And then also, are you also willing to provide, apart from the product standalone, also software solutions, for example, like an app to track period, or did you also have in mind some sort of expansion on that way, also an app to build a community along the products?
I have a terrible memory, so I'll try to remember your two questions in one. First of all, we have the lineup against the bigger companies in the menstrual cup world. There's a lot of competition, of course, but it's a huge market. If you look at Sweden, that's quite a progressive country. It's calculated that about 20% of the market uses of the fertile women uses a menstrual cup. So there's still 80% using tampons and pads. And even though the tampons and pad companies, actually several of them has actually started to produce cups, but they don't work with them because their margins are better on that you have to buy a new thing every month. So there's a lot of room left for more big companies to get ahead. And if we talk about the app, as I said, we are going to start one for the pelvic floor training, and that will be included that you can track your period in the future. Yes. And so it needs to be a community-based. And I think that the more people started talking about, you never hear a woman say to another one that, oh, I tried this amazing tampon last weekend. That sentence has never been said, but with a cup it's told all the time. So it's quite a big community actually talking about these kind of products behind it.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Daria, Elena, do you have any comments on that?
Sure. Thank you, Lisa, for the presentation. I quite like the products. Obviously, I have personal connection to period products. So following off of Daria's comment, there are very established brands in this space with, there's even household names for period cups, at least in the US. So I would expect to see that your major differentiation comes from say your go-to-market strategy, how you attract customers, how you gain their lifetime value. So my question to you is, just dive deeper into the go-to-market strategy.
Of course, we are the biggest brand here in Sweden and Norway. And we have made that mostly because we believe in fair conditions all the way. So we actually produce our products here in Sweden. We have a better design, and any contest we have been in, we have been named the best cup. And so we have, of course, a big market share to take out in the world, of course. And I think that seeing the other cup companies as colleagues and not competition, because we all aim for the same thing. The big competitors are the pads and tampon companies, definitely. So we still have a lot of work to do together with our colleagues, and we are actually quite big up here, and we do have FDA clearance, so we can work on that part as well.
So yes, so how would you replicate the success that you've had in Sweden and other markets?
Social media and influencers, but it's not the cup that we are actually aiming for at this point. That market is growing, that business is working. So it's the Inconti and the monthly wear that we are actually looking for money for, because as you know, medical devices are very expensive to put on to get to the market, and we need to do the same strategy with them as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Anyone else?
Maybe one question also regarding this go-to-market. Indeed, you're addressing quite a mass market. What are your thoughts about the segmentation you could perform, and any potential subpopulation that would be easier to address? You talked into general terms of social media. How do you segment your market?
Yeah, so we'll start up in the Nordic. It's quite progressive up here, and then we're going to Germany and Netherlands. It's the same thing. So we take it market by market, and then we'll have to work with distributors. Of course, we can't take on the world all by ourselves. We need help in different markets. You need to find specialists to work on different markets so you don't make errors. And so that's the main part, working with those type of, since what we have noticed with the menstrual cups is that you need to be in a forum where you tell something that you get questions and you can answer them. And that's why social media is such an important part. So a pad, you don't have to have that much training to understand what to do with it. But with the menstrual cup, it raises questions, so you need to be able to answer them. So that's why we focus so much on social media. Everyone is there, but we can also address the issues that arrive.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John. There's one question in the chat from Anne. What is unique about the pads? She's asking.
You mean the period panties?
Yeah, I mean, yes, about the pads.
It's actually a couple of things. First of all, we will get a license on the antibacterial cloth that's being used for the panty itself. And then we're actually trying to find a way to work with circular material in the actual pad. And we will try to get a patent, how do you say, patent, vad heter det? Mönsterskydd. I can't find the word, sorry, an IPA on the patent. So on the construction of it. And because we're using circular material to try to make it even better than the competition. And the first test, we are doing this at a research institute here in Sweden. And the first test actually proves that our product is better than the competitors.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, so yeah, time is up as well. Thank you again. And the next pitch will be miResi, will be done by Pablo, CEO of the company. Thank you again, Lisa, and have a great evening. Pablo, are you here?
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Now we can share a screen and start a presentation.
Perfect. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so we are miResi. We have identified a huge problem happening now in the whole world, that the number of chronic elders is growing super fast. And the suppliers, which are mainly the nursing homes, are not growing that fast in digitization and transparency. So you are getting that one of the most important in the sectors in the next 10, 20 years is not getting the quality and communicating the quality properly to the seniors living there, to the families at home, to the sanitary sector, and to the government, which is one of the main clients of these nursing homes in a lot of European countries, for example. And this has consequences. You have a lot of news about nursing homes doing really bad things. You have huge price drops in the stock prices of the big groups due to they are profitable businesses, but they have suddenly transparency problems or quality problems. So here is where we come. We are a software technology company that has a unique product that helps nursing homes communicate with families and with the public sector. At the moment, well, our business model at the moment is that we charge the nursing home for every senior entry. We have been around for the last 3 years, with one COVID year, which was a bit tough in nursing homes. And we have been focused in building barriers to entry for future players. The first one is a two-side satisfaction. We have a very small churn rate of nursing homes working in our platform, and we have a very high family satisfaction. The second one is our technology. As I said before, is unique, and we are still working on it. We have a senior team for being only 3-year-old and having limited access to capital. We have managed to bring into the boat a lot of senior experienced professionals. We are very good in getting into the market. We have doubled in the last year the number of families helped every month, but not only doubled the number, also being very efficient in the cost, going from 18 to 5 euros. In the last 3 years, we have increased our revenue from 76,000 euros a year to 1 million. At the moment, we are cash neutral, so we are not burning much cash, and we have cash like for a long time, and with very limited, as I said before, access to capital. So this proves our management. Previous to this, I founded another company which is called Audífono.es that is selling hearing aids. I founded 4.5 years ago, and I'm not working there anymore because I think that this is a much bigger social challenge and a much bigger market. So at the moment, I still own 40+% of the company, and we have just got a purchase offer for around 7 million. So I think that is also very interesting for investors that we have already done this before or similar things. If we go to our unitary margins, so every time we bring a senior to a nursing home, we charge the nursing home an average of 400 euros. And the cost of doing this is 200. So we have 50% gross margin since the start. Well, in the beginning, it was a bit higher because of the higher cost per lead. And every month is getting lower because our conversion rates go up. We are doing a booking.com strategy, going into a market with small prices to get all the offer. And there's a big opportunity to increase lifetime value during the next years.
Pablo, we have just a minute, by the way, just to let you know.
Perfect. So yeah, so at the moment we want to continue building barriers to entry, which are technology, mainly technology and an account management system, and real-time integration between the elders and the families. This is our financial perspective. So we plan to grow. And now we are doing an investment round of 2.5 million. We have a letter of intent of 2 million, and we're looking for 500,000 to complete the investment round. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the great presentation, Pablo. Victor, would you like to start your comment?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Pablo, for the presentation. So the thing I guess I struggle to understand the most is how exactly the product works and where does it bring value to the customer, which in your case is the nursery home.
Yeah, sorry for that. I didn't explain it properly. This is the first time I do. So okay, so it's very difficult to find a nursing home because most of the nursing homes, they are not able to present their competitive advantages on an objective way to the customer. It's like trying to look for a laptop before Amazon. You are not an expert on laptops, so you get two and you are not able to compare between them. What we bring into the equation is that we get we ask families that are already in the nursing homes what has been their experience, and then we get that experience, we structure it very well, and then we use this information to help other families to go into the nursing homes. This is on the demand side. On the supply side is that rotation rate in nursing homes is getting every month higher. Now in Spain, it's 60% per year. So we help nursing homes to increase their average ticket, and we help them to get like the smallest possible rotation periods.
Victor, sorry, I guess I couldn't unmute yourself.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Thanks. I have a quick follow-up question. So is this Italy specific problem or Spain specific problem, or this could also be applied to nursery homes outside of those regions? And if there are any nuances, what are those?
I think it's a global problem. If you the main problem here is that the atomization in the market is very large. So you have a lot of independent nursing homes in every country, because normally people managing nursing homes are self-employed, or maybe they have like 2 or 3 nursing homes. So they don't have they are not professionalized companies. So then the problem here is that they have very little access to new technologies. So the way they interact with families is very old-fashioned and analogic. It's a global problem. Actually, there are a lot of companies rising now in different countries that are doing similar things to ours.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Victor, for the question. And Lindsay, do you have any comment or question?
No, thanks so much for this presentation. My comment is more just a little bit around kind of like the narrative and storytelling component of this. Just so you're like grounding folks who are listening, I would tighten up the pitch deck and storyline so that you're really talking concretely about like one specific problem. I think you kind of gave like a more fulsome answer when you answered Victor's questions around like what's the actual, like how does this tech actually work? But I would tighten it up for like, what is like the fundamental issue around the economics of nursing homes and what are the pain points that they're suffering from right now, and quantify those and kind of make them more specific to, you know, a certain region or basically like what your initial like target market is going to be. Again, I was having a little bit of trouble understanding like how this is monetizable on a recurring basis. Like, forgive me if I like misunderstood at any point, but I want to understand like who are you actually charging? Is there kind of like a take rate between, you know, on actually like, you know, is it like more of a marketplace structure? Are you kind of like charging a subscription access for these like nursing homes? Like I'm not having a little bit of trouble, like who's kind of like the paying customer here?
At the moment, our business model is a marketplace structure that we are charging a commission, fixed commission on every entry that occurs in our nursing homes. Our plan is to do a similar strategy, like for example, Top Doctors or Doctolib, where you charge a fixed fee plus a success fee. Okay, so at the moment it's 100% success fee, and we will try in the future to get like regular commission.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. Anyone else? Maybe Daria or Gianfrancesco?
Yeah, maybe one question. How do you make sure that over the long term you can prevent Google from competing with you? Because I guess you get most of the traffic from Google, and therefore, what type of service, additional service you can add? And currently, there any human layer that would add more qualification? Because to what I understand, even if your customer are not really into the digital acquisition, the demand is there, and so it's probably their phone ringing every day. So what do you really bring in terms of qualification? Do you do that only digitally? And if so, what's the barrier that prevents Google from doing the same?
Availability, real-time pricing. So at the moment we don't have real-time availability. We have like a 2-week update availability. So that's one. The second one is we are now developing integrations with nursing home management systems to get real-time availability. And we are also developing a nursing home management system for those who don't have one, a very, very intuitive one. Who are the most of like the largest part of the market. Okay, and on top of this, we get a lot of traffic from Google, who are our main traffic source, but we are developing and every month is higher hospitals, like acute care hospitals. I think they are going to become not our main traffic source, but our main source of sales, because the conversion rate is super high in hospitals. So at the moment, what we are doing is to build a prescription software to engage with hospitals, to help them do faster the hospital leaves of chronic, because they don't earn money with chronic. They just earn money with surgery. So they are not interested in having chronic long periods in the hospital.
Yeah, thanks so much for the answer, Pablo, and thank you for the question, Jean-Francois. And actually, the time is up. And there is actually one more question in the chat by Adriana, asking, is it TripAdvisor for nursery homes? But maybe, Pablo, you can just use chat and answer maybe properly the question.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much, Pablo. And the next page is BeCare Link. Larry Rubin, CEO and founder of the company, will present the opportunity. Larry, are you there? If so, you
yes,
can share
I'm
the
here.
screen.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, can you see a purple screen?
Not yet.
No. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, ragazzi.
Let me
yes.
let me just. Are you seeing my screen change or no?
Yeah. I see the first slide right now.
See the first slide. Okay, perfect. So thank you for the opportunity to present. What BeCare is, it's a gamified neurological assessments for multiple chronic diseases that uses AI. Wait, I'm sorry. Now it said Zoom crashed. Hold on.
Okay.
Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. The problem that we're solving in the United States is that it's also a worldwide problem that neurological assessments are difficult. Why? Because they involve a physical exam, a psychological exam. There are disease-specific scales, meaning there are different scales depending upon what their neurological diagnosis is. So there could be a scale for MS different from ALS or Alzheimer's disease. You have to also understand the patient. And again, the reason that they're hard is they're time consuming, they require expertise, they're time sensitive, and they use often subjective measures. Additionally, there's, at least in the United States, but most likely in Europe also, there's a big mismatch between the number of available neurologists and the number of patients that want to see them. So many patients are being seen by their primary care physicians instead of a neurologist. And the problem is the primary care physicians, they don't do a neuro exam for essentially the reasons that we discussed before. So our solution is to do the equivalent of a neuro exam using an app to make it fun by making the activities of the exam gamified. The results are sent into the cloud. There's a portal that physicians can sign on to review the patient results, or we can create an assessment report that can be mailed to a physician or sent to an electronic medical record system. In the United States, that's Epic. And so we can interface with that through email. So we first started focusing on MS. Why did we do that? Because MS measures people with MS have many different types of impairments there. And there's also a gold standard called the EDSS. The problem is when this is for MS, the clinical evaluation takes 90 minutes. It's typically only done once a year because in the United States, that's all insurance will pay for. We can do it on our app in 15 minutes. It can be done as frequently as the user wants to do it. Whoops, sorry. So as I say, so the EDSS is the gold standard method of assessing disability in MS. It's done by, it's scored typically by a neurologist who's been trained to score the EDSS. There's a certification involved in doing that. We can score it using AI very accurately. By accurately, we mean that our scoring is typically within 1 point of a clinical EDSS score. The way our company works is we feel that we have advantages because we work closely with a number of widely known physicians who are expert in their field, in the field of neurology. They told us what the unmet needs are. We can turn them around quickly into a product. So the big advantage that we have as a company is that unlike Google or Microsoft that creates a technology trying to sell it to physicians, we do it the other way. We talk with physicians, they're part of they're very involved with our company. They tell us the unmet needs and we basically build a product that they're interested in using. Our product runs both on Android and iPhone. The app itself has been FDA cleared. We're HIPAA compliant and we use secure data transmission. So one thing to understand us versus many other companies that are in the same digital app space is that we're not focused on one particular disease. We created a general platform that can track many types of neurological disorders. We first looked at MS, as I say. Now we're coming out with an Alzheimer's app. Our technology is also applicable to Parkinson's, ALS, and myasthenia gravis. In a similar way that we score the EDSS, we'll create gold standard scores using AI for those other diseases also. How can we do that? We can do that because we work with expert neurologists who see those patients and they know how to do it. So again, most of our competition is focused on one disease, so they don't have the same breadth of capabilities that we have in our app. Our primary market is pharma.
Larry, just to let you know, we have less than a minute, so just let.
Okay, so our primary market is pharma and healthcare payers. Why? Because healthcare payers are interested in reducing costs by pushing some of the analysis to back to primary care physicians. Pharma is interested in running cheaper clinical trials, and that's something we can do through the number of users that we have through our app. We can recruit patients. We currently have about 4,000 users of our product now. Is that good? In terms
yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have something to add, the final word, or can move to the...
Well, I don't want to go over the time, so I think that gives you guys a good idea of what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Larry. And maybe we can start with maybe Daria. Would you like to start?
Sure. Thank you so much, Larry, for the presentation, first of all. Then I would love to deep dive a bit into the technology. So you mentioned AI, MLS. So I'm wondering, first of all, how far are you in the development of AI and ML? And then also, how strong is the technology in terms of accuracy?
So we have a working product. In other words, so we've already developed the machine learning process to score the EDSS, which is the MS gold standard score. We currently on our app have a class 1 exemption from the FDA, so anyone can use our app. We're currently making a class 2 application on the machine learning process that we have, because the FDA has taken the position that anytime machine learning can be used by clinicians as part of a diagnosis, that has to get a class 2 certification. And that's where we are now. Let me just add, we've done 3 clinical trials of our technology. We're being used currently by one drug company in a post-marketing study of an MS drug. That's Biogen.
Yeah, thank you, Daria, for the question and Larry for the answer. Lindsay, Do you have any comments on that?
I think that was going to be my question as well, just around like actually maybe leading with a little bit more around like the clinical data you've collected. And I don't know if I see it in the deck, but like the partnership with Biogen you just mentioned, I think would be like super helpful. Otherwise, like it was just a question around like regulatory component. Sorry. Really
Yeah, so let me just say, we have that in our deck, but because of the quick presentation, presenting data, regulatory, it's difficult to do given the time frame, but in a different venue, we have that info.
Cool. Thank you so much. Those are my comments.
Okay. Any further questions, Lacey, or can continue with maybe Alana?
Not right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Larry. Thanks for your presentation. I do have a few questions. So do you just collect, say, behavioral markers from interacting with the game?
No, not at all. In fact, the difference is the idea of using machine learning is we're looking to collect objective markers. We also collect quality of life data from patients through standardized questionnaires like the PHQ-9 or the Beck's Depression Index. So the idea of what we do is we have these patients do the games, and then we do a feature analysis where we collect features that are appropriate for a neural network model to analyze. And that's really the point of the games, to collect objective data, analyze it with machine learning, and then compare that to quality of life data that we've extracted, that the patients have also answered.
Could you provide examples of what those features are? So I understand that you can, say, track the face. You can track the behavior, like how a person interacts with their phone. So which, say, markers are you extracting?
So what we do is as I say, so MS, for example, many different aspects, right? Some people express disabilities visually, some express through motion, they can't walk, they have to use assistive devices, some, some cognition. Sometimes people who have, with MS, they'll say, well, I can't drive today. So what we do, the activities that we do are made to measure these different systems. So for example, we have a 25-foot walk activity, a tug, a timed up and go. You start in a chair, you get up, turn around. We have tapping tests. Then we have like different, we have memory tests, like a coding test. So the idea is people do these tests, we collect data like how long it takes them to make a decision, how accurate their decision is. And essentially by looking at this data, it has, data has huge amounts of degrees of freedom, right? So what we have to do is we have to collapse it into something smaller. That's essentially the feature analysis. We can provide those features, but I can tell you the way we came up with those features, we used a mathematical technique called principal component analysis which is a way to mathematically determine which features contribute the most amount of information into scoring this clinical exam. And that's the way our machine learning. So the idea is turn the data into features, collect the features, run them through a machine learning algorithm that's already been trained by physicians, and then basically come up with a score. And then by looking how the score changes over time, we can tell physicians whether there should be some objective change in the patient's treatment.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Elena. Victor or Jean-Francois? Maybe.
Yeah, thanks, Larry, for the presentation. So obviously we ended up a bit early, so I was unable to get how much money you're raising and what you want to achieve with the capital. That's number one. And number two is around the business model. So can you tell me a little bit more about how the business model operates, and some unit economics around the business as well?
Yeah, of course. So,
and Larry, before we start, actually, we have about less than a minute, so I need a bit short answer for that.
So the business model is geared, as I say, it's geared at pharma, it's geared at healthcare payers. In order to do that, though, those businesses want to see that you have a wide consumer base that's actually using your product. So up to now, we focused on building up a consumer base for our product, but that's where we anticipate our revenues will come from. We have one deal with a pharma company, Biogen, but we've spent almost all our time up to now into building our product, collecting users, and that's where we are, really focusing on deployment now. In terms of money, just so you know, we're looking to raise a total of $3 million. We've already raised a little over 1 million against this 3, so we're looking to raise 2 million more to close our round.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Thank you,
Thank you.
All the other judges for the question and contribution. Thank you, Larry, for the great presentation.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. And then the next page is VitaScale. Ulrich, CEO of the company, will present the opportunity. Ulrich, are you there?
Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I hope you can see my screen right now.
Yes, we do.
And it goes in presentation mode. Yes, here we are. Okay, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to present our innovative and patented breath and saliva technology. With our technology, we are tackling major global health issues such as malnutrition, lung diseases, in particular COPD, asthma, and COVID, diabetes, and obesity. But it's not just about health issues. From that point of view, we even developed a system, a very smart, easy to use, and low-cost system for in-cabin control in vehicles, in particular in this case, to monitor alcoholization of a driver. It's not a minor problem, actually, in traffic. Around about 25% of all deaths are related to drunk driving. Our main focus is, first of all, on precise analysis, but even more important, prevention, and finally, improvement over time by a substantial level. There are certain key indications that are able to determine such critical health parameters, such as the status of minerals and vitamins, nutrition intolerances, metabolism speed, diabetes level, performance level, lung function, stress level, and finally, alcoholization as well. As you may know, there are certain ways of determining such health parameter in a non-invasive way. One of them is breath analysis, saliva analysis, urine, and in heart rate, and alternative technologies are just exploring the market like sweat and contact lenses. We believe that the combination of saliva and breath analysis deliver the most comprehensive and most accurate results, and that is part of the reason why we invented our system VitaShape. The gold standard in breath analysis looks like the system you can see on the left-hand side. It's very complex, very expensive, starts at least 5,000 euro. Takes a lot of time to measure, 30 minutes at least, and you need to have a special experts in order to perform the test. On the other side, blood analysis works very well from an accuracy point of view, but it's invasive, it's painful, it's definitely not for children, and it's not real-time and digital at all. That's why we invented our system VitaShape. VitaShape is a combination of breath and saliva analysis. For most of the mentioned KPIs before, it takes just one single breath to determine them. The system itself, it's very affordable, starts with a retail price on a subscription basis for end consumer by €9.90 per month. The system, it's real time, it takes maximum 50 seconds. And the system is not just about diagnostic, we even have an implemented rehabilitation and coaching functionality, for example, for individual diet plans, activity plans, and relaxation. The system is tailored to be able to be incorporated in any kind of digital health environment. And in the meantime, we are running a lot of tests at independent universities in order to prove our accuracy in correlation to the gold standard. And as it looks like, we achieve with our system the same accuracy. Then from the other side, we are running a lot of tests with B2B and B2C customers. It looks like they like the easy to use feature of our system, especially the individual health checks, and they even like the price point. We have a kind of a stepped approach by going to the market. Right now, we're introducing the system to the lifestyle fitness market. And by 26, 27, we're going to introduce the same basic technology into the medical market by having then the MDR and FDA certification in place. And in parallel, we are running right now a huge project with one of the largest tier 1 companies worldwide for automotive applications. Along this line, we are expecting the break even around about 2 years from now, so by the end of 2024. In order to get to the stage right now, we are seeking 2 million, 1 million for R&D and MDR preparations, human resources and marketing. And we're expecting that we need to run another investment campaign by beginning of 2025 in order to get the product ready for the medical markets. We're quite competent team of international experienced management experts in all relevant fields that are required in order to start and ramp up a company like ours. And we are assisted by a very competent team of scientific and industrial board members. The system itself has been awarded a couple of times by international juries. So not only we seem to like our system, but experts in the medical and wearable technology field as well. In summary, we have a very scalable product which goes in growing markets. We're expecting around about 70 million revenues in 5 years from now. The system itself is proven. It's an award-winning technology, and it's for B2B as well as for B2C application. And of course, we're a very enthusiastic, experienced team, which are eager to get this product and system behind up and running. Finally, I would like to invite you to become a part of our interesting journey to make the world a bit healthier by using our breast saliva-based technology for prevention and diagnostic. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to your question.
Amazing. Thank you, Ulrich. Jean-Francois, would you like to start?
Yes, maybe I would ask a focus on the medical market that you want to address. I understand it's not in the very short term, it's more 25, 26, but how do you prepare the positioning and what type of trial do you run in order to validate this and how it will insert in the patient journey, reimbursement, and the physician use?
Yes, very good question. Right now, we are starting a trial with a large insurance company in Germany to get the first understanding on what the market needed. From that point of view, we have some individuals working in the diabetes field, for example. We just got awarded by the German government to run a public funded project. From that point of view, to get the system in a stage where it's being able to be delivered to medical fields. So there's a multiple approach from that point of view. And for lung diseases, we have already a couple of studies in place, but of course, we're going to extend this as well. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think well, it's still exploratory to what I understand, and then you'll.
Yeah, we're measuring exhale gas concentration as well as saliva. So basically all in one. By having a system like that you just need to take a deep breath, and while applying the breath, you have a sensor system sitting in a mouthpiece, and then this is basically capturing your saliva.
Okay, and maybe if I may, is there a consumable part in your device?
Yes, the filter system for B2B application is a disposable part, just to make sure that there's no virus being introduced to the system. So from a clean, hygienic point of view, this is a disposable part. Everything else is basically being designed to have a lifespan of at least 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much. Elena, do you have any comments or question?
Yes, thank you for your presentation. I noticed that your pricing is a subscription-based model. And so I want to understand practically what kinds of patients would require consistent breath analysis?
Yes, it's very good. Actually, various groups of patients, since we have a multiple sensor technology behind. Let's start with one suffering from COVID or asthma. They can basically determine with our system on a daily basis if they like, how well they're doing. They can improve their lung functionality by having some special lung training implemented. People suffering from stress or resilience can use our system to determine their resilience level, and with our coaching program, they can calm down by using their breath. People suffering from diabetes and nutrition intolerances can use our system to determine, first of all, how bad it is, and if they have already developed diabetes stage, then they can use our system to improve nutrition as well as medication by doing non-invasively, in this case, daily measurements.
And are you only selling B2C or also to healthcare providers?
Actually, we have a B2B2C sales approach. So first of all, we are introducing right now our system to B2B customer, and they're going to sell our system based on a sales margin to their end consumer. B2C is not being released. This is going to be released by the end of this year. So right now we are selling B2B only. And of course, for the medical markets, we will have B2B solutions for hospitals as well as B2C solutions for basically diagnostic at home.
Is this relevant for emergency services at all?
It could be relevant from a lung functionality point of view. Everything else is more like a lifestyle illness kind of thing. So diabetes, nutrition intolerances, more nutrition and so on are more long-lasting diseases which take a long time before they occur finally. And our main idea and mission behind is basically to detect them before they are basically happen, and to make sure that the individual is adapting and changing life and the nutrition by making sure that it's not getting worse.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Elena. Anyone else? Daria, Victor, or Lindsay? Feel free to jump in.
One question on the validation of the solution. I think you mentioned that, but you were very fast on the slide. So in terms of the validation of the accuracy in particular, so can you give us some numbers? Also, how does it compare to a saliva and breath analysis that you can do in the lab, for example?
Yes, from a saliva point of view, we are still running some studies. That is still taking some time. From a breath analysis point of view, we are running some tests with systems that are considered to be the gold standard, and we achieve an accuracy that is around about 3 to 4% difference between those systems, which is more or less like the normal variation of a human being. If you like, I can send you the study later on. Explain this a little bit more in detail on the numbers as well.
Yeah, that would be great.
You're welcome.
Just a super quick question. I know probably we're up on time, but have you any sort of like intellectual property secured around this, or like a provisional patent, or have you done like conducted a freedom to operate search?
That's a good question. Basically, we have at least 3 patent families in place. Since we are the first company being worldwide able to capture breath in an open environment, which enables us even for the automotive industry to apply some certain technologies which are not available right now. And then we have some patents for the procedure behind. So yeah, 3 patent families and 5 pending. So 3 granted and 5 pending.
Thanks.
I think Lindsay and Victor, anything to add?
Yeah, just super quick question on my end. Is there how does the competition looks like?
Like this, you have a mask-based system which you have to wear on your mask on your face. So it's definitely not an end consumer ready solution, and or you have to sit under the hood and measure your breath from that point of view. What we think is that we have a very lightweight and easy to use system, and from that point of view, it's much easier and much more affordable than the existing medical products on the market.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ulrich. Very clear answer from my side. And
thank you as well.
Already as well. Thank you, Ulrich. Thanks so much. And now we can move to our final page. The company is Sonai Health. Yuri Sepa, CEO of the company, will present the business. Yuri, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Just a second. I will share my screen.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Yuri Sepa. I am the CEO of Sonai Health, and we are a startup with the mission of reinventing heart diagnostics. And to be even more specific, we are focusing mainly on the primary healthcare. And I must say that it's been really nice to hear all the good presentations. I'm just in the middle of a startup event where we have been pitching on stage with 3 minutes. So the 6-minute pitches sounds like a luxury at the moment. So to give some perspective where we have started our business is these facts that heart disease is the leading cause of death globally, and it means that every third individual will have some kind of problems with cardiovascular diseases. And so it's a really big thing. And the key challenge there on the diagnostics is, first of all, that it starts with the stethoscope, which is really subjective tool, and there's a big variation between the examinations done between the doctors. So there is really no standard way, and the data is not recorded systematically. And then when something is found out, the patient will be sent to further examinations like ECG or ultrasound, which quite often take place in another location. And there will be long waiting times, especially in the public healthcare. For example, in country where I come from, Finland, the patients need to wait even weeks, or in the worst case, even a couple of months before they get, let's say, to ultra and to know what's problem with their heart. So this is the starting point. And there we have developed our solution, which is a easy to use device utilizing really advanced sensor technology. You can see the illustration there. It's pointing out that we will have 4 measurement points with the device, and each of these measurement points are including the microphone to detect the heart sounds as in stethoscope. But into the microphone we have integrated, and this is the key part of our innovation, is we are using the microphone also to transmit and receive ultrasounds. And we have also integrated ECG into that, and we are also utilizing sensor motions to collect that data. And that all is then, of course, stored and analyzed with AI. And the key benefits from the solution is that it will remove the subjectivity of the starting point of the examination, so the auscultation, because it will be quite standard, and the device is made so that it can be used also by the nurse, and there will be clear guidance on how to place it and make sure that the sensors are placed in a proper place, and in order to get the maximum quality of the data. This will be a way faster and cheaper process if you compare it to the way it's done today. The measurement itself and the analyze will take less than 15 minutes, and it will give the treating GP doctor a one-pager indicating if there are some specialties in the heart sounds, and also giving recommendation if there is a need for further analysis. And we can also use this system to follow up the patients, how they are developing with their symptoms. So where we are at the moment, as I said, we are a startup. The company was established in 21. We have the prototype available. We have patented the key innovation of the sensor technology, and we have agreed the first clinical trial, which will take place later on this year in a university hospital in Finland. And the next step, or the key next steps, which we are planning to finalize during 24, is the product finalization and go through all the regulation needed, or the whole regulation path. We have a great team. We have a combination of all the major areas like business management, medicine, and really strong scientific and technical background. You can see Heikki is the professor there. He has been around since the times of Nokia, and he's been one of the key experts in the microphone technology, and that's what we are utilizing, or that is the key competence in our technical innovation at the moment. So, and we also have some experience on setting up startups and making good exits out of that. Our funding plan at the moment is that we have a pre-seed round up and running at the moment, and we are expecting, or we are planning to raise next year 1 million. And for both of these rounds, we will get subsidies from Business Finland, which is the non-dilutive investment arm of the government. So roughly half of that money will come from there. So our mission is to help millions of people with heart diseases, and it will have a big impact, positive impact. And there's also good news that there is money to be made in there. So if this is something that interests you, please be in contact and discuss more. We can discuss more. So my name is Juri Seppä. I'm the CEO of Sonai Health, and we want to listen to your heart. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Juri. Great presentation. Victor, would you like to start your comment?
Yeah, sure. So I want to understand a little bit behind the mechanics of the product. So is this device potentially going to be measuring heartbeat dysfunction? What kind of patients are you going to be targeting exactly with that?
Yeah. First, the targeting is the primary health care. So the user will be the GP, and the situation is where today they are using the stethoscope. So it will be all kind of patients who have some kind of symptoms in their heart, and this is going to be the first examination of that. And so we will then, the first thing that we are concentrating on is to be able to detect the abnormalities in the heart sounds much better than the stethoscope does today, and in a standardized way. So we will get rid of the subjectivity in that. And then we have integrated into the microphone also the possibility to both send and receive the ultrasound, which we are using for two reasons. First of all, to detect where is the place, the optimal place between the ribs. So we are using the acoustic impedance for that. And we are also able to use that to measure the volume movement of the heart. And now when we are doing our preclinicals, we are collecting that data and we are preparing an estimation of that to be able to indicate what's happening in the ejection fraction. So that's our goal in there. So to summarize, we will hear the heart sounds much better, and we will be also to measure the volume movement of the heart.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. And there are actually quite a lot of companies that are focusing right now on the cardio space and obviously continuous cardiac monitoring, trying different ways to solve this problem with obviously lack of continuous and accurate data. So what are you going to be doing differently compared to those, and what is the unfair advantage here?
Okay, so the way we are defining our competition is the key competition is coming from the existing processes, which starts with the stethoscope, and then the patients are sent to central hospitals or some other places to further analysis. So, and that's the key. And then when it comes to these other solutions where the patients are given some kind of wearable or some other measurement, which will then give or will analyze the patient in a longer period. We are not targeting into that. So we are really clearly targeting into the first appointment with the doctor. That's the key segment for us. And we have conducted quite many customer interviews. We have presented this to many cardiologists in the Nordic market, in the Nordic countries, and it seems like it's kind of an interesting sweet spot in the market, because the primary healthcare is not in the focus at the moment for the main big player, and the all the markets are suffering on the scarce resources of the specialist cardiologist. And if we can somehow improve the first analysis done in the primary healthcare, it seems like there's a big need for that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Victor. Maybe Lindsay, do you have any comment?
I'd love to understand just a little bit more if you have like early stage data around kind of how this compares like with the current standard of care, as well as like any KOLs that you're in conversation with. Just like a little bit more detail on that front, I think would be helpful.
Can you repeat? I didn't hear you. Sorry, I have a bad connection here.
Just like actually, I think quantifying like on a slide, basically like how, to the extent you have this data, right, how this kind of compares with the current standard of care, and any conversations like you've had with KOLs like in the field.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, sorry for not hearing that. Well, to start with the later one, the KOLs, we have done studies in the Nordic markets, especially in Finland and Sweden. We have conducted quite many interviews, presenting the idea to cardiologists and also some decision makers in the public primary healthcare. And the key message we are getting from there is that the need is really big to be able to streamline the process, especially when the tsunami of the aging people is getting to the healthcare, that the situation is getting much more. So the need seems to be in there. And the key difference is what we have compared to the status quo or the existing process is first the standardized way of doing the auscultation. because today it is really dependent on the doctor's know-how and knowledge, and there are always big differences in that. So that will be taken off with our solution. Secondly, we are storing all the data, all the heart sounds and other data that we are collecting, and that data is accessible later on. So, for example, if the patient has been, let's say, 2 months ago with the GP and coming back there, then we can compare the exact heart sounds. Have there been any differences between the periods, or is the status developing in some way? And we can also then share that data to other locations. So if there is let's say, a need to have an opinion from a cardiologist, which is located otherwise in another location, we can use that in there. And then finally, I think the most interesting part of is the ability to measure the heart's movement already in the first appointment with the doctor, because that's something that is currently done in manual ultra or echocardio testing in hospital normally, and that is not available. That data or that analysis is not available in the primary healthcare at the moment at all.
Yeah, thanks, Yuri. Actually, time is up right now, but if other judges have any comments, maybe not question, but just a short comment, if you happen to make this, you can just jump in. Or maybe, I don't know, if you don't have any comments about the page, time is already up. I think Yuri's answers were really very clear and detailed. You may have not any question. It's natural, I guess. Yeah, then I think we can wrap up here. Thanks for the presentation, Yuri. That was great. And all the judges, thank you so much for your contributions, and all the participants waiting with us until the end. We will publish our next Health Tech Investment Conference next week. So stay tuned, check our website, our pages. And thank you again, all the judges, Victor, Lindsay, Elena, Jean-Francois, Daria, and all the rest of the audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See
Thank
ya.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks so much. Goodbye.
Cheers, bye.